Let me break down these developments into three parts: India's strategy, China's response, and the road ahead. India's strategy has gone from being reactive to proactive. I'll explain. China's response is that of surprise and frustration, evident in their media meltdown and 3 a.m. press releases. And the road ahead, ideally, should have a well-defined border. We'll take it one by one, starting with India's strategy. For many decades, India's strategy was don't ask, don't tell. I know the phrase is used in a different context in a different country, but it fits here perfectly. Don't ask, don't confront China, and don't tell how much land China has been grabbing piecemeal. So things did not come to a head. But in 2017, we saw a major standoff. China tried constructing a road in Doklam and India stopped it. That's when Beijing got the first taste of India's new approach. In the years since, India has ramped up its own border construction and China has tried to oppose it. India stood its ground on the 15th of June this year when the PLA provoked Indian soldiers with nail-studded clubs in Galwan. They were paid back in the same coin. Weeks of talks followed. India did not cede ground. Instead, India took vantage points like the Rezangla. Indian soldiers are dominating the heights spread over 50 kilometers and now talking to China from a position of strength. As I said, proactive, not reactive. Indian troops did not wait for China's next move. They went ahead and secured better positions. Now let's talk about China's response. It is not used to such posturing by India. Beijing is surprised, even rattled. So much so that it broke the 45-year record of no shots. Its soldiers fired at the LAC for the first time since 1975, and all of this, we are told, happened around 7 p.m. China issued 3 a.m. press statements. The tone was of urgency and victimhood. What triggered the desperation, you may ask? Two things. First, India's dominance of the heights in Ladakh, and second, the public funeral of a Tibetan soldier. We've already discussed the first. We've also told you about the funeral. We brought you a report last night. A Tibetan SFF trooper who died in Ladakh. He was fighting for India against China, and his story rallied Tibetans in India's favor. Beijing wanted to change the narrative, so first it fired shots. That did not help. Within hours, it changed tack and started playing victim. It said Indian soldiers had crossed the line of actual control. They entered the Chinese territory and fired at Chinese troops. Who heard China's late-night cry? No one. So Beijing deployed its propaganda machine to amplify the pitch. And on cue, Chinese state media went into a collective meltdown. Look at the Global Times. It has been tweeting relentlessly all day. What does it say? India could be lifting rocks to drop on its own feet. Sure. This Global Times editorial claims that India's bravado will backfire. There are many more in this vein, hollow, shrill bluster exposing China's desperation. India's tactical moves are delivering. Its proactive approach means that it is speaking to China in the only language that it understands, the language of strength and power. What happens next? The meeting of the two foreign ministers in Moscow should yield something. A breakthrough would be too much to hope for, but talking is, we believe, the best option. The ball is in China's court. It can do three things. And this is a no-brainer, but I'll say this for China's benefit. First, it can go back, which would be the best for everyone. Second, it can escalate the situation, which would be the worst-case scenario. And third, it can continue with the status quo, with India breathing down its neck, which China ideally would not like because militarily and diplomatically, it is at a disadvantage. So talking and de-escalating is China's best bet, and I must say this, there have been several rounds of such talks, border talks, in the last couple of decades, all inconclusive. What we see today is a manifestation of the unresolved issues of the past, the baggage of 1962. The only way to fix this is for China to agree to define a border, demarcate the line of actual control. The undefined border, coupled with China's endless appetite for land, is the root cause of all these conflicts.